for plenty to sing, but it only brings you down. Oh hey, I didn't see you there. I'm joking. You guys can calm down. How's it going? I'm finally back. We're finally getting back into the groove of things. And this is going to be a guitar tutorial for Eden's. I was gonna say new track. It's not really new anymore. His track "How to Sleep" from his second album, No Future. And I know you guys have been waiting. You've been patient. All right, I appreciate your patience. I do. I've been a wee bit busy, and I know with all of this crazy virus stuff going on in the world, I know everyone's got a little bit more time on their hands than they usually do, but I don't know, things are just wonky and my schedule wasn't lining up, but here we are, we're doing it, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. This is going to be my version of how I play How to Sleep, because you know what, there's no guitar in the actual track. But it's very simple, which is fantastic. It'll be very beginner friendly, 4 chords. So let's just get right into it. And disclaimer before we go any further, I do not claim to be a singer. I do not claim to know Eden's lyrics to every song, even though I would like to, okay? I'm gonna mess up lyrics, alright? So the first chord is an E chord. There's a finger is on the 7th fret of the A string. Then my middle finger is on the 9th fret of the D string. Ring, 9th fret of the G string, pinky, 9th fret of the B string. So you gotta really cram your middle finger, your ring, and your pinky all onto the 9th fret, which can be rough, but I think this sounds really the best. If you're a little bit more of an advanced player, you can, of course, bar with your ring finger on the 9th fret. There we go. It accomplishes the same thing, it just gets much more tiring. So I would advise not doing that. And if you're more of a beginner and you can't really cram all your fingers on there, which I totally understand, an alternate place to play the chord would be on the E, A, D, and G strings with the normal bar chord shape. That's going to be your pointer on the 12th fret of the E string, your ring finger on the 14th fret of the A string, your pinky finger on the also 14th fret of the G string, your ring finger also on the 14th fret of the D string, and then your middle finger on the 13th fret of the G string. So when you play the chord up here, you may find that the sound is a little bit more muddy. There's more bass in it because of that E string really brings the bass out. But it works just the same. So the chord progression actually stays the same throughout this entire song the way I play it. You start off on that E that you just learned, and then you move down to a B, a bar chord. B is how I play it. So it's that same shape of that alternate way to play the E I just taught you, where your pointer finger's up on the 12th fret. Except you keep your fingers all in the same place, but slide them down to where your pointer finger's now on the 9th fret. And you have yourself a B. There you go. Next chord is a C sharp minor. Should sound like that. What you're going to do is you're actually going to take that bar chord shape you just learned for the B. You could slide it down to where your pointer finger is now on the 4th fret. And then you actually just take it all up one string. So now your pointer, instead of being on the E, is going to be on the A. Your ring finger, instead of being on the A, will be on the D, so on, so on. So now you're up here playing the A, D, G, and B strings, and that's going to be a C sharp minor. And then you can finish out with an A chord right there, another bar chord. All you do is you take that B bar chord and you slide it down 2 frets, so now your pointer is on the 5th fret. Same shape. Very, very simple. Those are all chords of the song, and the progression stays the exact same, so the order never changes. It's just the way that I pluck it changes, and you can stylistically choose it to do it however you like. I'm just going to show you how I like to do it. So for the whole song, I'm pretty sure every chord it gets 4 counts. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, switch, 2, 3, 4, switch. So the water was cold and you're shining. The windows are burning patterns in my mind. 1, 2, windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If the transitions are difficult for you, definitely, of course, you can slow it down. And especially if you have a hard time switching between the different shapes, you can play it all on the E, A, D, and G strings. It may be a little bit more difficult almost in a way, but more simple because you're not having to jump strings. Like starting up on that E, then sliding down to the B. And then you could do a bar chord, a minor shape of the bar chord, where your finger is actually pressing down the G string, which can be difficult up for that C sharp minor. But your fingers are all staying on the same strings, so it keeps things a little bit more simple if you want to do that. So for the beginning of the song, I do like to just pluck with my 4 fingers, you know, your thumb on the A string, pointer on the D, middle finger on the G, and then ring on the B. Right? Keeps things nice and simple. You could also strum with your thumb, strum with a pick, whatever you like. I like to do it kind of nice and soft in the beginning, you know? But when we get to the chorus, I actually, instead of just plucking all 4 one time, strum it in 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I don't like to do the up, down, up, down, up. It just doesn't sound fitting. I do a nice little down, 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 down. That's how I prefer to do it. So what I mean by that is what it'll sound like. In static, feel the light run down the wall, holding back the stars, dividing us in new ways away from sleep. Confusion as its cause. So basically like that, and that just repeats. I also like the sound of palm muting it. So if you keep your palm, I'm not going to really go too in depth about palm muting because I'm not even good at it. But if you take your palm and you put it basically just to the very base of the strings, if you take your palm down here at the body of the guitar and start strumming, and your palm's not touching the strings, and you start slowly sliding it up until it starts barely grazing the strings, you can hear the sound start to sort of mute. If you start to bring your hand too far up, no sound is going to be ringing out. So you have to find that perfect, nice position where you can rest your palm and strum. See, I'm not even that great at it. And strum, so it sounds muted. So I kind of like to do that too. So just like, in static, feel the light ran down the wall, holding back the stars. That sounds kind of cool too, in my opinion. Actually, probably my favorite way to play it. I'm just not very great at it. But I know it's an important skill to acquire, and it sounds really cool, so why wouldn't you want to try it? So I would say work on it, but it's up to you at the end of the day. And that is literally the whole song. I kid you not. It's actually crazy how simple it is. Just a 4-chord progression. But, you know, it sounds really fantastic. Probably my favorite song from the album. And if you just switch up how you strum it in the chorus and maybe between verses, it can sound really more elaborate than it actually is. So hopefully this really helped you guys. If you have any questions, of course, ask me in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. And if I made any mistakes that you feel like I should fix, I'll leave corrections also down in the comments. If you're a beginner like myself and you want to learn some of Eden's other songs, I have made quite a few tutorials, so the playlist will be at the end of this video, and you could go check them out. I totally encourage you to keep learning Eden songs because his songs are so great for beginner guitarists, and even if you're not a beginner, they're just fun to play. So have fun, guys, and enjoy.